The Powertrain Perspective podcast is sponsored by TransStar Aftermarket Solutions.
This is Powertrain Perspective from Transmission Digest, and in this interview, I'll be speaking with Bob White, the Global Sales Manager from Superior Transmission Parts. We may run a little bit longer than most of these discussions because we're taking a look at the crucial issue of how builders can avoid using and purchasing counterfeit parts when doing their rebuilds.
Morning, Bobby. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So tell me, where are these counterfeit products coming from that are coming into our marketplace?
Well, there's several avenues that they flow in. Some are on purpose, some are by mistake, some are we'll call accident, but the majority of them are planned. This has been going on many years. Our founder, Dennis Sr., always warned me and always told me, and I know, Bobby, you've talked with him for 35, 40 years. He made everything in the United States for a reason. And he said, someday you guys are going to thank me for this. And we were always a little bit more expensive. We were always this or that. But during COVID, we always had your parts on the shelf. We actually filed a statement in Transmission Digest that said we were the only company to keep our products on the shelf 100% in stock for the duration of COVID. And to us, that was a monumental accomplishment, but also a fulfillment of Dennis Sr.'s wishes and words that someday we will be thankful that he stayed in the United States. And so now that brings me to current. We have some of the hottest products with our SureCool STL010, which is a Circle R registered part number. The SureCool is a registered part, registered trademark, and it's patented. So we've gone through the times before, we'll say pre-2007 at Superior, of when things were basically copied. It was a complete copy across the board because nobody had the foresight to really do intellectual property protection. When I came on board in 2008, Dennis Sr. and I went to the Apex SEMA show. It was one of the first international ones. It was the first time Fairbanks had been back to a SEMA show in like 10 years. And so it was real meaningful to Dennis Sr. when I told him as an inventor that I would like to have my products patented. One of my famous ones is the Bench Buddies. I actually have one here, but this was a Bench Buddy and an Accumulator Buddy. It's brushes that were patented, the look, and that's some things that people can see. If it doesn't look like this, it's not from Superior, and everybody knows our products. That was another thing that Dennis Sr. and the company back in the days said, if you can't get our parts from a distributor, then you go and ask that distributor for those parts. And eventually the distributor came around and knocked at Superior's door and said, everybody's knocking at my door. I need that product. I need it now. And so the legends were born. Now, flash forward, we've got some home runs. You know, we used to kind of fly right under the radar, okay? But now we've got these huge products that are being put in around the world. It's like nothing I've ever seen in 16 years of making parts, ever, okay? So I did an old school move with the SureCool, and we tried to do more things of self-promoting it that watch out for the copies. Only ask for the original. Only ask for the true original that's made out of the stuff it was spec'd with. Because that's the other thing. They bring it over, these builders look at it, and well, okay, let's put it in. And it doesn't work, it binds up, the spring breaks, overheats the transmission. And so we've gone through many different things to secure our products. I'll start with saying the first one is the patent and trademark protection. That's the first step. The second step is going after people that infringe. The third step is making sure your distributors are advertising the genuine McCoy, whether it's on their website, whether it's on their Facebook page, whatever. TikTok has been a huge thing. A lot of the blogs and things like we're doing here, the webinars, podcasts, different things like that. It's so important for a company like us, the small guy, to get our word out to the public. Well, Bill and Anthony and I talked for a little while. We remember back in the days when certain things were stolen companies. The product was manufactured in China. They either used their mold, they used their whatever, and they copied it. And that's how most of the copies come through. We don't manufacture in China. And in a lot of times, yes, what you were saying about, is it Amazon? Is it where they're buying it? Is it eBay? There's over 60 different sites that you can get a counterfeit STL0 Circle R on. Now, number one, trademark infringement, if they put the part number STL010 on anything without our permission. That's number one. Number two, they have breached the patent and copied it direct. But the funny thing is, they have no instructions. They don't know what it does. And that's why Superior does not put our instructions online. Our instructions are purchased as a copyright when you buy the product. If you need us to send you a copy of the instructions and you purchase the product, call our tech department at 850-575-7155, and we will send you a copy on your email. But we do not put our instructions up online for a reason. That's to help our distributors stop from counterfeiting. That's from having all of our people that work so hard to make this stuff, attorneys and trademark people, myself, Jim Brookshire on the tech line and on the Facebook pages and stuff. We see it. And now that this has been out there for a few years, the counterfeits are failing.
Well, I think you've covered a great deal of it, but what we need to ask is, so what happens if, with all due diligence, I end up with a part in my shop that I think may or may not be counterfeit? What do I do now?
Okay, so here's the second part. Immediately contact the manufacturer of the product. Immediately look, and if you're a user of our products, you'll know our quality, our consistency in packaging, trademarking, trade dress, how it's product cooked in a little rubber package in a plastic bag that has the rust proofing in it, and you'll see it's all sealed. If you pull a Superior part out of a product and it's not in a sealed bag, you need to put that part right back in the bag and send it back to where you got it and say, look, something ain't right. Or call Superior or go on our website. So the next thing is a manufacturer keeping their website up to date, putting their patent pendings, their trademarks, trade dress, anything up, and a picture of the product so an actual customer, and I had this happen yesterday, lady out of Colorado, our new STL028 product, she said somebody sent it to her and it was just in a bag. No instructions, no box. And I said, ma'am, you need to send right back to where you got it. And I said, you need to contact our distributors who have even advanced purchase on this particular launch. You need to contact our regular distributors and find out what's going on, because that's product. So contacting the manufacturer, knowing the source of where you're buying the product. So from a customer standpoint, the look of the packaging, the instructions with the copyrights on them, in fact, our STL's -8L90 kit, the new 8L90 kit, has color instructions for the first time. We've actually had color instructions printed because it's harder for people to counterfeit color instructions. So our customers who know our product, they are on it right away. The ones that we've crossed over with, like our KO100 that goes into general repair, or a lot of our tool parts, or a lot of like the STL stuff, can be put in at a general repair shop. So the people that aren't as familiar with our American-made quality and the look of our product, they're maybe not knowing what they're getting. And so again, if you think, you need to call the manufacturer. We have also advertised in Transmission Digest exclusively on the back cover for over almost 3 years, telling people do not accept counterfeits, substitutes. Here's the picture of the actual product. If it doesn't look identical to this, then you have a counterfeit. 5 years ago, we bought a laser etching machine and we started etching SureCool Circle R on the actual head of the parts. Then each one has its part number etched into it also. And even if you took a grinder and ground off the numbers, you could still do an acid test to pull it back. So there is a way that we can go into a forensic type of mode to see the metallurgy, the spring tension, the metal that the spring was made out of, the color, the box, everything. But the customer has been the person that really is taken advantage of. And thank God it's, less than $50 product. So, I can't see people going, well, I'll get the cheaper one, trying to save a $5,000 or $6,000 transmission. Our thing is that we want you to know you're getting the genuine Fairbanks, TransLab, or Superior product that we make in the United States, that we proudly manufacture here in Tallahassee. We have many sources of springs and things, and they're all done by professional companies here in the United States. And to me, that's an honor. So with that said, that's how we protect our products and how customers can see it. I will say that if a customer opens up a box and they aren't happy with it, whether whose ever product it is, if it's you bought a Christmas tree off Amazon, you need to follow up with your due diligence and don't let them get away with it. Send it back, get your money back, follow through, file a complaint, file a bad review, but support the original person that made the IP and the technology. That's key.
All right, Bob, I appreciate all of the research and the knowledge and the thoughts that you shared this morning. I want to add that we had an article in our print magazine, October of 2022, dealing with counterfeit parts again, and in particular counterfeit kits. That's also available on the Transmission Digest website. Bob, thank you for this morning, and thank to the audience for watching Transmission Digest, Powertrain Perspective.